Hello, welcome to Art 115. I am your instructor this semester, Nancy Briggs. There's my email. I am not on campus, but I will get back to you as soon as possible if you contact me via email. And I can also arrange a phone call or an online meeting if that's the best way to help you in the course. I am going to cover in this video the course scope, how the course is structured, the attendance policy, types of assignments and weighting, how to navigate the course in Canvas, and tips on how to succeed in the course. This course is a study of the art and architecture that humans make since about 1400. So we're taking up where 114, if you took that, takes up right at the late Gothic age, and we'll go all the way, well, way beyond Picasso here, into modern and contemporary art. And you can see, this is a big jump to Impressionism and the invention of photography and Cubism. Things are really going to change stylistically. And that's, I think, a very exciting time in art. The course is designed to provide you with the tools and terms needed to look at and understand art in a historical context. On this journey, we'll explore how and why art objects came to be, as well as the drastic shifts in art making that take place in modern and contemporary art. Lastly, we're going to look at the influence of art from one time period to another and examine the historical significance of art styles. Artists are constantly looking back and either being influenced by or breaking away from the things that came before them. This course is run as a once-a-week meeting. All week's assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. Sunday nights. Weekly modules are open at least the Friday before. They're usually 2 weeks at a time open. There are 2 weeks open now, and you may work ahead on chapter readings and quizzes and weekly assignments. Please pay attention to what you should be reading before doing those assignments. So don't jump in and do a project for week 2 when you haven't read anything from week 2 or week 1, okay? You can't do anything, though, until you do this entry verification quiz. This is a fully online class, so that's a thing that the college has programmed. You must take this little quiz that has nothing to do with my class, just online learning. So go ahead and take that, and then you'll officially be enrolled, and you won't see anything in the course until you take it. So for my class, you only need a 70 or above. That's what the college says you passed. I don't use it as a grade, so you don't need to get 100, but you can take it as many times as you want. So you get a 70 or above. Okay. Take a look at the assignment schedule on the course or the one I sent you, and you can see that every few weeks there is a test, and those are based on several chapters together. Midterm and final are based cumulative. So pay attention to that. Those are important weeks. Be present. Late work will not be accepted in this class. It's tied to attendance and other assignments for the week, okay? For attendance, you must, I should say, turn in at least one thing per week to be present. Okay, so for instance, week 1, you have several assignments. You have 3 mind tap quizzes. You have a discussion board. If you only do one of those assignments that earns a grade, you will still be marked present. Okay, so that's the attendance policy for this class. But the late work policy means that you would have missed, 3 other assignments if you only did one. So they are linked together, but not exactly the same. For the college, this is their rule. If you miss 2 consecutive classes, that means you're absent 14 days, then you will be withdrawn. So it's a 14-day policy, but if you don't do them consecutively, it turns out that on the 3rd day is when you will be withdrawn, okay? But please note, you would have missed 2 weeks' work that you can't make up if you're absent, so your grade will be affected, and we'll have to look at that for reinstatement possibilities. Okay, so for what kinds of assignments? You're going to do a mind tap quizzes. You will have weekly discussion boards, chapter tests, as I just said, a midterm, different types of assignments, sometimes projects, and final exam. This is our textbook, Art Through the Ages by Gardner. It's been revised many, many times. It's been around. It's like a standard in art history classes. The textbook is all-inclusive, and we use the Cengage platform. And what they call their quizzes are mind tap quizzes. Each chapter has a content quiz and an image quiz you'll be responsible for. You can take these, and you should, as many times as you want before the deadline until, in my mind, you get 100. Of course, you can, do what you want, but they're there for you to get 100 as far as I'm concerned. All right, chapter slide notes and lectures are on each week's module to guide your learning. Okay, you'll have a discussion board. Uh, Most weeks, like on test weeks, there won't be one, or maybe we have too many assignments or too many chapters one week, you won't have one. Okay, I try to spread out the work. You're going to reply to a prompt in written form, and these are, paragraph form, good spelling, your own application of the materials and the question. And then you will respond to 2 other posts after you post yours. You won't see any posts until you post yours. When you reply, please be academic in your conversation. It's not social media, and it should extend the conversation with additional and relevant information. So something like, you point out this, which I agree with. I also learned, think about it as yes and statements. You should be applying the information that you've learned to the conversation. Okay, so the tests and the midterm and the final are based on the information, of course, in the textbook. We're a textbook-based class. I also have lecture videos there that go over the images in the textbook that you should know for the test, okay? So they may be very helpful in understanding the chapter content. For each chapter, you don't have to know every single image, so limit what you need to know and take notes on to the test review sheet, which is right on unit 1. It'll be on units 1, 2, and 3, so you can't avoid it. It's the same sheet, just so you know, okay, these are the things you should be paying attention to as you do the readings, okay? They're focused on certain things. So they go with my lectures, and there's also image slides on each week, which are the images on a blank slide show like PowerPoint that you can just take notes right on. These are all meant for you to use during tests. So the tests are all open notes. So be prepared for the tests. The timing for the tests reflects that you should also, already know what is going to be on the test, right? I will make a video on how to take tests in this class before we take test 1 anyway. All right, so do the readings, watch the lecture videos. Those aren't mandatory, but I think they will help you to succeed. Take notes, do all the work each week, even though, if you skip an assignment, all right, you'll get a 0 for that assignment, but you'll still need to know it for the test. So you might as well do the work. Do your best on all assignments, look at the pacing guide, and read my announcements on Mondays and Fridays so you know what to do for the week. All right, on the course, all online courses. I hope you're all getting used to Canvas as I am now, hopefully. I don't have many glitches. On the left is the modules tab, and that's how you'll get to everything. And you can see on the right is, the due dates. So there's lots of little reminders for what to do. And when you hit the modules, after you take the verification quiz, you won't see anything, this will all be grayed out for you until you do it. You'll start here, entry verification quiz. And then each week I have a course overview. Okay, you can see week 1. Course overview is just the course information. That's part of this week. And then what to do. There's the learning objectives and then what to do for the week. Okay, so that's where you'll start for each module. And then you can see all of the things you have to do listed after it, okay, with the due dates. So I think that's a very helpful. I think Canvas is very helpful. I'm getting used to it now. I'm not complaining about it anymore. All right. So you can also hit your grades tab. After I grade things, you'll see everything in my comments. But to see what's due as well. So you can see the first 2 weeks are here, and then note entry verification doesn't have a date because you have to do that before you can get to these. And then there's no grade for that. So again, you just need to get to 70 for that. Okay, so jump in. By Sunday, 9/21, you're going to first take the entry verification quiz. You have to go over the orientation unit, learn how to navigate the course. If you've watched this video, then you'll already have done this. Read the syllabus timeline and the getting started materials. My contacts are there, all that stuff. There's a very short and easy getting started quiz based on the syllabus and this video. And this counts as it counts towards your first attendance as well. Read the course textbook, introduction, and chapter 14. Take the MindTap quizzes for the introduction and chapter 14. And you will introduce yourself on the discussion forum, and there is a prompt question about the readings that you will answer as well, and then make your 2 replies. Okay, so week 2 is open. If you want to work ahead, that's up to you. All right, please get in touch if you have any questions about any of this or any of the course materials. I'm here to help you succeed in this class, and just let me know. All right, I'm looking forward to a great semester. Thanks for joining me.